I'm here tonight with Cheryl Bailey. She's the NLWSL Executive Director. Now, Cheryl, what are your thoughts on the start of the Women's Pro League?
Well, when you turn around here and you see all these fans back here, these young girls, families coming out in Boston to support their team, and you're going to see some of the best talent out there, that's what it's all about. That's very exciting.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. I think we're good.
Hello and welcome everybody to Dilboy Stadium here in Somerville, Massachusetts. Scott Sudikoff alongside Maddie Sadler getting set to bring you the opener of the NWSL season between the visiting Spirit of Washington and the Boston Breakers. And it's an exciting day here, the inaugural season for the NWSL. First game for the Boston Breakers this season after a fantastic year a season ago, 11-3.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. You know, the Breakers have a very strong, a very potent offense, and the Spirit will counter that with a great, strong defense. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out today.
And we expect a very boisterous crowd here at Dilboy Stadium, a sold-out crowd. Breakers last year had fantastic crowds here at Dilboy Stadium, helped them to a very good home field advantage. And again, that 11-3 season, although regular season champions, they did fall in the semifinals of the WPSL Elite playoffs. They lost to Chicago a year ago. This is a Washington team that's a new franchise, but this is a Breakers team that's been around for now 12 years, has got a very loyal following, so it should be an exciting game here.
And, you know, the Breakers fans are all here. They're excited. They've been here for hours getting ready and getting set, and they're expecting a sellout crowd, and everyone's, you know, the energy's up. It's exciting, and it's going to be really interesting to see how the team works together and how, you know, these players get on the field for the first time for their first game.
And there are some returning players, and as we go through the starting lineups later and during the game, we will be talking about some of those returning players and also a lot of new faces for the Breakers this season. And then obviously one thing that's new this year is this, what you're looking at right now, this streaming broadcast brought to you by Media Boss Television. And it's a kind of a new age for the Boston Breakers and for this new professional league. I believe it's 7 cameras we have set up around the field, full graphics, and it should be a fantastic broadcast. Hopefully it'll be a fantastic broadcast. We know the video will be fine. Maddie and I will
We're excited to be here, and everyone else is excited to be here, and we're excited that you guys are tuning in to watching. So
we're going to pause right now for the national anthem, and then we'll come back with the starting lineups. All right, the national anthem is complete. Now let's get you today's starting lineups. And these starting lineups are brought to you by TCG Network Services, implementing technology that empowers people. Let's take a look at the visiting Washington Spirit. The forwards are number 9, Ingrid Wells, number 14, Tiffany McCarthy, and number 22, Stephanie Ox. In the midfield, we have number 6, Tori Lindsay, number 8, Diana Matheson, number 13, Julia Roberts, and number 23, Tori Huster. And back on the defensive line, number 3, Kika Toulouse, along with number 11, Allie Krieger, and number 15, Robin Gale. And the goalkeeper today for Washington is Ashlyn Harris. The Spirit are coached by Mike Jordan.
Some two people to keep an eye on is the defense. We'll keep an eye on Gale and Allie Krieger. Both have a lot of experience. They have veteran presence on the field. Krieger is someone to keep an eye on. She's coming off an ACL injury, and she's back, and she should be an anchor in the back. And the defense is someone of a strength for the Spirit this season.
Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Boston Breakers. Forwards are number 2, Sydney LaRue, number 10, Leanne Sanderson, number 12, Katie Schepfer, number 17, Kaya Simon. She led the Breakers in goals last year with 12. In the midfield, number 9, Heather O'Reilly, number 11, Joanna Lohman, and number 25, Joe Dragata. And defensively for the Breakers, number 4, Kat Whitehill, number 7, Rian Wilkinson, number 14, Kia McNeil. And in goal for the Breakers, number 24, Ashley Phillips. The Breakers are coached by Lisa Cole, now in her second season with the Breakers.
And like I said earlier, the Breakers have a very strong offense. They have a great, scoring threat with Sydney LaRue and Heather O'Reilly, both who play on the U.S. team. So that is something that to keep an eye on and see how the Washington Spirit are able to handle those scores.
Now let's welcome back in the third member of our broadcast team, Alex Sims, down on the field.
I'm Alex Sims reporting live from Dilboy Stadium, where this is the season opener of the Boston Breakers, where it isn't expected to be a full crowd tonight. As you can hear, the crowd is just going wild, and it's going to be a great game. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Alex. We're just a few minutes away from the opening kickoff of the 2013 NWSL season, the inaugural campaign for the National Women's Soccer League, the Breakers and the Washington Spirit. They did have the actual opener of NWSL play. It was yesterday between Kansas City and Portland, and that was a 1-1 draw. They had 6,784 in attendance at that game, playing in Overland Park, Kansas. And this crowd might not reach that number, but that's a great number to have on an inaugural game between those two teams. And we'll have 3,000, or give or take, here at Dilboy Stadium. Actually, I've been told that at some point during the season they're going to bring in more seating to accommodate as the year goes on. 11 home games, 22 overall for the NWSL season.
Yeah, both coaches and all the players are really excited and looking forward to seeing how this all plays out, especially in its inaugural season. There are obviously kinks when you're starting out, but they're very happy and excited that they have a league to play for, and they're looking forward to the future.
Yeah, for the Breakers last year, they played in the WPSL Elite. We've talked about 11-3, the best record as a team in franchise history. They did lose in the semifinals to Chicago, so they fell short of that ultimate goal of a championship, but did pick up the regular season title. And Lisa Cole in her second season as the head coach of the Breakers. And assistant coach is Maren Rojas, former University of Virginia assistant coach, also was a head coach at Bowdoin College, Division III, and most recently was an assistant coach at Boston College. The two teams, the captains, have met on the field, and now coming out onto the field to begin the 2013 season. You can see the Breakers in their blue jerseys, which this year are brought to us by Ocean Spray, as the Breakers and Ocean Spray signing a deal just a couple of days ago. And you see Washington in white. You take a look at Katie Schepfer, one of the returning players for the Breakers this season. Schepfer, a product of Penn State University, Waterford, Connecticut, scored 7 goals last year, led the team with 6 assists.
And you'll see LaRue and Schepfer in the middle to take the kickoff. It's really important for the Breakers to get a fast start and really test this defense early with the Spirit.
And bear with us for a time here with the sun setting. It's right in our eyes, so we'll make an excuse right off the bat that it's tough just a bit to see the action on the field, but we have a crack staff of 7 cameras and a very clear, beautiful HD picture, so it should be fine for everybody here watching as we are just underway. The 2013 NWSL season is upon us here with the Boston Breakers.
Yeah, the fans are shading their eyes too. We're not the only ones.
As they play along the nearest sideline, the Spirit moving it up into the offensive end. Stephanie Ox.
Now, Oaks is a player that you got to keep an eye on. Coach Jordan says she's young, she's fresh, and she brings a lot to the table. So she's someone that he's looking to have a big impact this season.
Waiting for a throw in here from Kika Toulouse. 23-year-old defender for the Spirit Club. Played a bunch of preseason games against ACC opponents down in their neck of the woods. Maryland, Virginia, also played Penn State.
Duke
as well, another ACC team. And actually this Washington team is littered with players from the Mid-Atlantic, Virginia and Maryland especially. So certainly when they have a home match, they'll probably have a pretty good local crowd.
And these players are happy to be playing around, fans and around, places that they're familiar with. So it's nice that they get to play in Washington, which is in between DC and, in between Virginia and Maryland.
In between Virginia and Maryland. And Maddie, our own Maddie Sadler, is a product of that area as well, Baltimore native. So welcome to Boston.
Thanks. You also spent your fair share of time.
Spent my fair share down there as well, product of the University of Maryland. So we have some ties to this, not to the Washington Spirit team, but at least to the locale.
To the DC metro area.
We are 2 minutes in here. Haven't had any real offensive opportunities as the Spirit have a throw in on the far side.
The beginnings of this game is really, about figuring each other out and working with each other because with both these teams having a lot of international players, they haven't actually been playing together or practicing together for that much time.
See Ashley Phillips in goal for the Breakers, 5'8", 27-year-old. She played collegiately at Clemson. She's been with the Breakers since 2009, where she started as development player. Also from Beverly, Massachusetts, not too far away from here. As again, the Breakers in blue uniforms moving left to right here in this first half. As the ball goes out, it'll be a Breakers throw in. Tossing it in will be Rian Wilkinson, a newcomer to this Breakers team.
Yeah, Wilkinson, she brings a lot to the table. She's, she plays for Team Canada and she has a lot of experience. She's a veteran player and she's definitely a leader for some of these younger athletes.
Breakers trying to work it into their offensive end, and that one goes up over the head of the goalie Harris.
That was a good effort by LaRue, but she just didn't get a good touch on it. She needs to keep peppering shots down there because she does definitely have speed, and that's going to be a problem for the Washington Spirit defense if they can't contain her.
LaRue played 2012 with the U.S. women's team, and she had 14 goals in 27 games. Did LaRue, 22 years old, from UCLA, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, she's originally from Canada, but changed and playing for the red, white, and blue now.
4 minutes in. Still no one has had a true offensive opportunity. As a throw in here from Toulouse. Heading towards the corner. And goes back out, and Breakers regain possession. So as you said, Maddie, it's a feeling out process in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really important to stay together as a unit and stick to the game plan in this game. It's the beginning of the season. Both teams want to start out on a good note.
The ball's going back and forth now between the two clubs. Thrown in here for Schepfer. Now picked up in the midfield by Tori Lindsay for the Spirit, and then taken away. Breakers rushing it forward. Sent towards the box, but scooped up by Ashlyn Harris. And she rolls it ahead for her teammate. Spirit back on the defensive line. Play it back to Harris, and she'll kick it away.
It's really important for Harris to be communicating with her defense and be communicating, you know, what she wants in the field, especially when she's going to have LaRue and Shepfer and these breaker offensive players in her face. She needs to make sure that she's directing back there and being a leader.
Breakers usually employ a 4-4-2. In the Spirit, we had dueling reports on what they would come in with.
Yeah, Coach Jordan isn't set on how he sets up his team. He goes with what he's feeling that day, and he goes with what he thinks is going to give him the best opportunity to win. So his setup changes.
This is Oaks trying to work it in, and it heads out on the end line, and it'll be a goal kick. She did her best to get towards the goal, but not able to get a shot off, and Ashley Phillips will have a goal kick.
It was a good effort by Oaks to, you know, try and get something going. There hasn't been too much offense on either side, so, you know, she just needs to try and spark her team, and the Washington Spirit needs to get this 50-50 ball and try and get back.
And that goes straight out off of the head of Joanna Lohman, so the Spirit take it right back over. Throw in coming from Toulouse. Trying to spin away with it was Oaks. Kept in bounds momentarily. They call it out on the end line. Another goal kick upcoming for Ashley Phillips, who in 2010 did play 9 games with the Breakers, started 8 of them. Had a 1-4-4 record, 2 shutouts, and a 1.15 goals against average. Sends that one towards midfield. Quick one touch ahead. Shepfer looking to break it forward, but Toulouse there defensively. Goes out. Breakers will throw it in. Heather O'Reilly. Leanne Sanderson has it knocked out and stays with the Breakers, and it'll be a throw in right towards the corner.
This is a great opportunity for the Breakers to, you know, get some shots and have some offensive pressure.
O'Reilly's throw in, though, knocked away by the Spirit and stolen. Recovered by Rion Wilkinson. Tries to cross it into the box, and nobody home. So I don't believe any official shots yet in this contest. And we are just over 8 minutes in.
There's a little bit of a lack of communication and players kind of just kicking the ball around right now. People are trying to feel each other out, and I don't know if they necessarily know.
And they almost had a chance there, almost springing forward. With the Spirit back line able to step up and make the play. Back line of Robin Gale, Allie Krieger, and Kika Toulouse. Around the midfield. Breakers moving forward left to right. Leanne Sanderson.
That was a great ball.
And off, just off sides though. Good opportunity for the Breakers. Cindy LaRue just about a half step off sides. Breakers regain possession here.
You can't be too upset about something like that. It was you know, great play, great setup. It just a step too early.
On the far side, Heather O'Reilly. O'Reilly looking to do something. Sends it across, cannot connect though. Most of the play the last couple of minutes has been in the offensive end for the Breakers. Now the Spirit moving across midfield up the far sideline. Played back to Lori Lindsay. Sent back out by the Breakers, goes out. It'll be a Washington throw-in. And that'll be picked up by Phillips. We have this little break in the action. St. Elizabeth Medical Center, Stewart Family Hospital is a proud sponsor and official hospital of the Boston Breakers. As the Breakers, and now been around now for 12 years, and the first season in the NWSL.
Versus the Washington Spirit, who are in their first year.
First year for the Spirit team. Mike Jordan, though, was head coach of the DC United women's team just a couple of years ago. Not to be confused with the DC United of the MLS. A lot of similar names, actually, between some of the women's professional teams and the MLS teams. That one gets pinballed back out, picked up by Toulouse. Long pass ahead, trying to run after it.
And there you get a glimpse of the speed of LaRue and how dangerous she is.
O'Reilly gets it back in. O'Reilly. They'll play it back to the defensive line, McNeil. Here's O'Reilly. O'Reilly looking to set something up, gets blocked out, and it'll be a throw-in right towards the flag there. And they call it off of the Breakers. Looked like that was clearly off a white uniform.
Yeah, there's a missed call there, but
now the
Breakers get it back here.
Get it back. O'Reilly will give to Wilkinson to throw it in. O'Reilly, left foot towards the post, and goes straight out of bounds.
She had a lot of time, a little bit more time to make that distribution, but she could have taken one more touch. But it was a good idea, and they're just trying to generate some offense right now.
TCG Network Service is the official IT services partner of the Boston Breakers. Since 1987, TCG Network Services has remained on the cutting edge of technology while building a reputation as a trusted resource across New England. Breakers almost have an offensive opportunity there, but Heather O'Reilly can't connect with the pass. Bouncing around the midfield. Breakers trying to head towards the box, sent back out. Looking to get something going offensively. And this will be picked up by Ashlyn Harris.
In that situation, you need someone to be making that far post run. O'Reilly was in the general area, but
so it's like this is.
She wasn't.
I'm here with the mayor of Somerville, Joe Cotaturney. Now, as you can see, the fans are just packing in. The stadium is amazing right now. Now, I have to ask you, how does it feel to have this Breakers team back in your hometown?
It's really exciting. We're really honored to have the Breakers here. One of 3 women's professional sports teams in Somerville, the Boston Blades hockey team, the militia football team, and certainly the Breakers. It's just a great thing, not just for Somerville, but for the region.
That's great. Scott and Maddie, back to you.
Thank you very much, Alex, as we are just over 14 minutes into this one, no score. Again, I've said it a couple times, nobody's had a real good offensive opportunity. As the Spirit centering past the header, gets by and in. And just as I say that, the Spirit get on the board.
That was a great goal. The header was perfectly placed.
Trying to see who exactly it was. Again, as we said, we were looking directly into the sun. And goal was scored by Tiffany McCarthy, the header.
Tiffany McCarty is an exciting player, Coach Jordan said, and she's very fresh, and she takes a lot of shots, and she's a very dangerous threat and someone that we should be keeping an eye on. And the Breakers should be defending closely.
So McCarty from Florida State had 63 goals in 98 games as a collegiate and has her first here of 2013 with the Washington Spirit. Scored in the 15th minute here.
And if you're the Breakers, you know, it was an early goal, but this isn't something to let your head down. There's so much time left in this game, and now you just need to regroup. These next 5 minutes are very important.
Seemingly came out of nowhere there almost for Washington.
Yeah, just as you said, there hasn't been much offense.
That is out of bounds off of the foot of Rian Wilkinson. So 1-0 Spirit. 16 minutes in. We're at Dilboy Stadium in Somerville, Massachusetts. Coming forward with it is Oakes. Oakes looking to get it to the center, and it gets through her teammate's legs, Ingrid Wells. And now the Breakers look to come back in transition. Pass ahead. It connects. And then knocked out by the Spirit. Throw-in upcoming. This is Sydney LaRue. LaRue into the box. And O'Reilly trying to send it back forward, and it gets sent out by the Spirit. It'll be a Breakers throw-in again.
Lots of good chances by the Breakers. They got to keep taking those shots.
On that goal by McCarty, Ingrid Wells had the assist. 15th minute, McCarty from Wells, 1-0 Spirit. Far side throw-in upcoming. Wilkinson plays it back. Lohman and Wilkinson play catch. And now O'Reilly. O'Reilly up the near sideline. Wilkinson, quick one touch, knocked away. Back out to the midfield. Throw-in upcoming for the Breakers. They'll have Wilkinson do the honors. Wilkinson sets something up. Past midfield. The quick header couldn't connect with Kaya Simon.
That was a good flick by LaRue. It just didn't go where she needed it to, but it was a great idea to try and, you know, get a run down that farther side.
Wilkinson here on the near side. Thought about centering, instead gives it back to Heather O'Reilly. O'Reilly to the midfield, Lohman. Trying to turn and head towards goal. Wilkinson, center. It's knocked up in the air by the Spirit. Back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly left foot forward, can't connect, and goes right through to Harris. Spirit with a 1-0 lead, scoring in the 15th minute. McCarty from Wells. Ball is loose. Spirit trying to track it down before the end line, not able to.
You know, this is when the Spirit are trying to catch the Breakers in transition right here, because that was a quick flip of possession right there, but the Breakers handled it very well.
Just over 20 minutes in. Spirit with a 1-0 lead in the season opener for both teams. Home opener for the Breakers, one of 11 home matches. These two teams will match up 4 times this year. The next time will be at Washington on May 11th. Katie Shepfer looking to make something happen. Played back for Lohman. Now to the far side. And trying to send it through, and it goes out for another goal kick for Ashlyn Harris.
That was another far post run that LaRue should have made down to that end, but the Breakers have to try and get this one back here.
So Harris here with the goal kick. 27-year-old keeper for the Spirit. 5'9" from the University of North Carolina in Satellite Beach, Florida. Breakers with possession, Wilkinson to O'Reilly. Quick touch back from Lohman. Now return to the near side, Wilkinson. Breakers looking for space.
You see the Spirit brings a lot of their players back. They're very tight on defense, and it's hard to generate a lot of offense when you're outnumbered in your offensive zone.
And not much room for the Breakers to maneuver so far in this first half. They've had possession for the majority of this first half thus far. Don't have any official numbers, but just from the naked eye, seen a lot of action down on the right side of the field so far, minus the goal for the Spirit.
And here the Breakers are going to switch fields and try and get a run maybe down the sideline or cut across the center.
Spirit take the turnover though. And they'll head forward. Don't really have any numbers right now. As Ingrid Wells in the middle of the field. On the far side. Centering pass. Kicked away by Lohman. O'Reilly sending it forward. It's 1-on-3, waiting for some teammates. O'Reilly crossing it, trying to go through the box, but again, the Spirit back line gets there and gets a foot on it. 23 minutes in, 1-0 Washington. The sun has almost set here, which will be to the delight of everybody in this press box, as well as the crowd.
Yeah, people are holding up their programs and trying to shield their eyes right now.
I'll put in a request to move the press box to the other side of the field for next season. Have the sun to our back.
I'm sure that'll go over really well.
They'll probably make me donate the money. Not for a couple years. Back and forth, Spirit and the Breakers. Now it comes down to a blue shirt.
I think that's LaRue over there.
LaRue there on the far side. And now a throw-in comes towards her way. It's back out as the Breakers slowly making their way up the field.
These are the 50-50 balls here that the Breakers need to be the ones that are the first two.
And O'Reilly gets to it through the box and out the other side. So just as Maddie says it, Heather O'Reilly comes up with it, but could not convert. Didn't really have a teammate there on the far post to take a pass.
You know, she just needs to keep having those crosses from, you know, that corner, and eventually someone will be there to receive it and put it on net.
So 25 minutes in, see Ashlyn Harris getting set to kick it away for the Spirit. Goal scored in the 15th minute by McCarty from Wells. Scott Sudikoff alongside Maddie Sattler, Alex Sims, our sideline reporter. Thank you for tuning in to our maiden voyage on Media Boss TV. Breakers with an opportunity, trying to pop it up over the head of Harris.
She just needed that to be a little bit higher, and that would have gone in. But it was a good shot. It was a good opportunity.
So the Breakers finally force Harris to make a save. Almost 26 minutes in. And now let's see if they can keep the pressure on.
Be sure to follow @NikeSoccer on Twitter or visit NikeSoccer.com for all the latest news and information.
Hey fans, We Got Soccer is proud to partner with the Boston Breakers for the 2013 campaign. We Got Soccer is the nation's largest soccer specialty store and is your source for all of your soccer needs. Visit WeGotSoccer.com for more. Breakers continuing the pressure here off of that shot just a few moments ago, but Heather O'Reilly can't keep it going. Comes up the near side for the Spirit. Let's see if they can turn defense into offense. Matheson. Gonna head out of bounds. I believe last touch by the Spirit. It'll be a Breaker throw-in.
Oaks was trying to send that down the line, but no one was making a run, so she needs to make sure that she's communicating with her team and they're going where she needs them to go.
Playing back is Robin Gale. Just sends it to Harris. Quickly gets it away. Lohman plays it back. And taken away by the Breakers. And again, a potential opportunity, but the Spirit defense there just to get a foot on it and knock it away. Matheson sending it forward, and that'll be played by Phillips. Is trying to run after it was, I believe that was Roberts. Check that, that was McCarty trying to run after it. The goal scorers for the Spirit.
Now the Spirit are trying, the Breakers are trying to catch a Spirit in transition here with a quick, long pass down the field, but Washington handles it well.
Goes out on the far side. Breakers throw in. 28 minutes in. 1-0 Washington. Wilkinson can't get ahead on it. It goes out. So the Spirit will throw in.
It was a good idea to try and do the switch there because, the Breakers had the man advantage on this side of the field, but the ball just a little too high.
That gets deflected out and still stays with Washington. And they actually call a foul on the Breakers. So the Spirit will play it. Gale sending it up the near side, trying to connect with Oaks. Oaks against Wilkinson. And Wilkinson with a nice defensive play. Spirit will throw in. Matheson. Played for McCarty.
So this is a corner. A dangerous threat, a scoring chance for the Spirit, and the Breakers need to defend this well and get this ball out and then push up and force something.
Here comes off the corner kick, and it's caught right there by Phillips. So she got right there up in the mess and made sure she was the one to get two hands on it. Well, she's the only one who was allowed to get two hands on it, but I think you get my point. Make sure nobody else got a head or a foot on it. And she sends it forward just over 30 minutes in. 1-0 Washington. Breakers with an opportunity. And a great save there by Ashlyn Harris. Got her fingertips on it, lunging up into the air.
Yeah, she got some ups on that that save, and good thing she did because that saved for now saved a goal. But the Breakers do have a corner kick.
It leads to a corner kick. Katie Schepfer will tee it up. It's in the middle of the box. Got headed by Lohman. And loose ball sent away by the Spirit. So the Breakers can't take advantage of that corner kick opportunity, but they keep control of the ball. Sanderson. And she bombs one away, but it was up over the goal, and that'll be a goal kick.
Breakers fans, the Ocean Spray Diet Lime Juices has just 5 little calories and big bold flavors to help you.
Sanderson's from the other side of the pond, but she also has international experience with, you know, the Team England. So that's another player to keep an eye on for the Breakers.
Yep, Sanderson from Lewisham, London, England, 25 years old, 5'6", and with teammate Joanna Lohman, they actually have a company together, or an academy, the Joe Lee Academy. They founded in 2010, promoting women's soccer in developing nations. So they're teammates on the field and off the field.
Yeah, and they've been friends for a while with their company together, and they also played for. They played in Spain together.
And also played DC United together, so they've long-standing relationship. And we'll see if it transitions here to the Breakers. We're hoping that it does. Defensive play there by Krieger to break that one up.
Yeah, that was a great. That probably saved a goal. Krieger getting involved there. Otherwise, that would have been a great shot by the Breakers on the other side.
O'Reilly gives up to Schepfer, back to Wilkinson. Wilkinson, and that's intercepted. Not a good pass there. The Spirit trying to turn it into offense. It's pinballed around, picked back up by the Breakers. Headed up into the air. White jerseys there, though. Take control of the ball. Spirit with a 1-0 lead and really suffocating defense. Breakers have had, call it one solid opportunity. A couple of other chances. Schepfer in the middle of the field. Gets knocked back away by the Spirit. So the defense from the team in the white shirts has been strong so far for 33 minutes and 35 seconds. This is McCarty, the goal scorer for the Spirit. Her pass to the far side knocked away, but Washington keeps control. Heading towards the net, and that shot got deflected, I believe, and easily tracked down by Phillips.
Yeah, the Breakers are lucky that she didn't get a better foot on that. Otherwise, that would have been a deadly shot, and McCarty could have had her second goal of the game.
On a sun update, it is almost gone. I think for the second half, it'll be done.
Yeah, it's closing in on the trees over there, so hopefully...
It's just making it hard to see the far side of the field right now for us. But again, we know that our picture, our HD video is probably perfect, so you're watching at home, you might have a better view than we do right now. In fact, you do. I'll go out and just say it. As you see, Wilkinson here with the ball for the Breakers. Beautiful turf field here at Dilboy Stadium. Have the football lines on there for the women's professional football team that plays here, the Boston Militia, as well as, I believe, high school football.
Yeah, the Breakers are just excited to be here, and the fans are excited to be here, and we're excited to be here, so it's a great environment.
Longer season this year as well. They played 14 regular season games in the WPSL Elite a year ago. This year, 22 regular season games, meaning 11 here. Really spread out throughout the year. We start here April 14th, and we finish up August 10th against FC Kansas City. The regular season ends on August 17th. So really it's a spread out season. One game a week for the most part, a couple of 2-game weeks.
Yeah, and a lot of soccer to be played.
My Matheson trying to go to that far post, but wide right. It'll be a goal kick for Ashley Phillips. Coming up on 36 minutes in. 1-0 Washington. 15th-minute goal scored by Tiffany McCarty from Ingrid Wells. A Florida State product scoring from a Georgetown product.
Yeah, and both those players made significant impacts on their college teams and are hoping to make significant impacts on the Spirit team as well.
You know, we talked about McCarty. 98 games for Florida State, scored 63 goals in her career there. As we have a corner kick upcoming. While she was there, they made back-to-back appearances in the College Cup. Corner kick. Look at Phillips, got a leg on it first. Spirit trying to regroup. Sent back towards the net, missing a header opportunity. And smartly kicked out of bounds for a throw-in for Washington. Clearing it out there from in front of the net. Breakers looking to move it out of their end. And they'll clear it forward with the D-line of the Spirit playing, and there's a quick steal by Sydney LaRue. And that'll be out, and I believe a corner kick here for the Breakers, so LaRue with a great play.
She's such a fast and speedy player. She's so dynamic, and she's so scary if you're a defender. And, you know, she came out of almost nowhere to come and make that play, so yeah, what a great effort by LaRue.
Looked like such an innocent play there for the Spirit, but LaRue just ripped it away, and now the Breakers can't take advantage. Leanne Sanderson gets it back for the Breakers. Now in the middle of the field, Kat Whitehill taken away. In the 38th minute, it'll be a Spirit throw-in on the far side.
Fans Autograph Alley begins in the fan zone area 10 minutes after the conclusion of tonight's match. Players from both teams will
Breakers playing here the season opener, their home opener. The next 2 matches will be on the road. Next Saturday at FC Kansas City. And then the following Saturday at the Western New York Flash. They return here to Dilboy Stadium on May 4th. A 6 o'clock kickoff against the Chicago Red Stars. Wilkinson. Slowly moves it to Lohman. Out to the far side, Whitehill. And they almost had Rion Wilkinson, or excuse me, almost had Schepfer was the one who was leaked forward there. The pass got knocked away.
Schepfer is someone else, a scoring threat as well. You know, she led the team last year in goals, and I mean, she led the team last year in assists, and with Kia Simone, they combined to score the most goals on the team. So those two, with Sydney LaRue up top, are very threatening.
Yeah, Katie Schepfer had 7 goals, 6 assists a year ago. Kaya Simon, 12 goals, 2 assists. They were the leading offensive players for the Breakers a year ago. Schepfer played in all 14 regular season games, while Simon played in 13. Here's LaRue trying to attack. Leaves it off for Wilkinson. Wilkinson looking for some room to send it towards the box, and it gets knocked out by the Spirit, so a throw-in upcoming.
That was a great run down the side by Wilkinson to try and create space and give her team a chance and try and make that cross.
In the 41st minute, 41st minute, wow, I just made up a word, 41st. Save that for the highlight reel. It's opening day for all of us. That's the excuse we'll all give.
And Scott's not a math person, so.
She's right. Spirit coming back on transition. Matheson looking to work by McNeil. Matheson towards the goal, up off the crossbar. Phillips may have gotten a fingertip on it before the crossbar. That may have saved a goal.
Diana Matheson, she comes from Canada, and she plays on Team Canada, so she's scored a lot of international goals, and she has the potential to score a lot of goals here, and that was a great effort by her.
Yeah, she's been playing at a high level for a while. She debuted for Team Canada when she was 18. That was 11 years ago. You can do the math and figure out how old now. As Wilkinson throwing in at midfield. And it gets knocked out by the Spirit. Throw in upcoming for LaRue. Plays it back for Wilkinson. In the 42nd minute, 1-0 Washington, a 15-minute goal scored by McCarty from Wells.
That was a great ball by LaRue, and a great run by, looks like O'Reilly over there.
Heading into the box, got knocked away, and then that one is just airmailed. Maybe through the goalposts.
3 points.
Unfortunately, not counting for a goal, and it's a little too much mustard on that one.
Yeah, that was Shepfer making that run, and you can't be mad about taking shots. That's, you can't score goals if you don't take shots. So that was a great effort on her part too.
I think that's the old Wayne Gretzky line, or similar.
We're mixing sports here.
It works across the board, though. You can't score unless you take a shot. Just tell that to the Boston Bruins power play. As this one, far side, in the 43rd minute, so winding down here in half number one.
And another great switch across the field.
Simon can't control it. Just trying to get it back, though. Quick touch to the near side. Oakes. Sideline run. Matheson tracks it down in the corner. Matheson waiting for her teammates to set up. Brings it back out for Oakes. Nicely along the line to Lindsay. But her centering attempt is intercepted by Ashley Phillips.
Phillips just recently signed with the Breakers in April, which it is April, so this month. But she's one of 2 goalies they have on the roster right now. The other's Cecilia Santiago.
Yeah, Phillips rejoining this Breakers team, mentioned that started back as a development player back in 2009. 27-year-old from Beverly, Massachusetts.
She's a local girl.
We mentioned Cecilia Santiago, 18-year-old from Mexico. Back in the World Cup in 2011, the youngest keeper to ever appear in a Women's World Cup match. She was just 16 years old in 251 days.
What were you doing at 16 years old in 251 days?
Not playing in a very important soccer match, that's for sure. Probably playing video games. I can't think that far back. We're in the 45th minute here. We'll see how much extra time we have in this first half. 1-0 Washington. As Phillips will take her time here.
At the very least, the Breakers want to try and get a shot or 2 off just to go in half and have some momentum and have something, to look forward to come out and keep generating some offense. And
no extra time here, so we've hit the end of the first half, and Washington has a 1-0 lead. They scored in the 15th minute. It was Tiffany McCarty from Ingrid Wells. 15th minute, and the Spirit have the 1-0 advantage as we move to halftime. So the two teams will head to the locker room as we await a halftime interview with our sideline reporter Alex Sims.
And both coaches are going to say to their team, they're happy with the effort. This is the first game of the season. This is the first game most of these players have all been together. So, you can't deny the effort that's been out there and the shots that the players have been taking. They've been taking advantage of some of their opportunities.
One half in the books. The Breakers, again, those opportunities were getting better as the half went on. Spirit really scored that goal, I say, out of nowhere. They hadn't really had much pressure. As we're waiting for Alex Sims to get set up with head coach Lisa Cole of the Breakers, see what her thoughts are on this 1-0 deficit after the first half of play.
The official juice of the Boston Breakers.
Jim, let me know when you're ready. I'm ready on camera. Our mic is hot. Go live.
Let's send it down to Alex with head coach Cole.
I'm here now with the head coach, Lisa Cole of the Breakers. Now, Coach, you're down by 1 at the half. What are you going to do in particular that's going to change to get that W tonight?
Well, I think we'll have to do a lot of the things that we were doing towards the end of the half, keeping possession, getting off crosses, and looking to get off more shots. I think the game started out a bit frantic with both teams not having any possession, and they were lucky to get a goal kind of in that just mess of soccer there for a while. But that's what we expected in a home opener and in an opening game for both teams. So we just need to settle down, get the ball on the ground, and do what our game plan was and settle our nerves a little bit.
Now, I have to ask you, last year as you were coaching, you went 11-3. That was the best record in franchise history for the Boston Breakers. Now, is there any pressure on your end to keep up with that?
No, I think this is a different league, new challenges, and we want to be a good team, especially a good team here at home in front of our fans, and it's about where we finish, because that season was a good season, but we want to end with a championship, so we need to keep improving.
Great. Well, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Members from the Aztec Soccer Club each have a
Thank you very much, Alex. Again, at halftime, the score, the Washington Spirit 1, the Boston Breakers 0. We'll take a break and be back in a couple of minutes and have the second half of action for you live from Dilboy Stadium in Somerville, Massachusetts.